Hello, everybody. My name is Anne, and I'm the founder of Conscious Corner. My mission and my work is all about increasing consciousness and therefore choice on an individual and collective level. And it's a true pleasure today to share with you this short ownership workshop that is focused on providing you with some powerful and potent tools that can change your life forever. Of course, not just from participating in this one workshop, but by continuous effort, by using the tools that I'll be providing you with on a day to day basis, and to see your life shift and the reality of the people around you for the better. Because your presence matters, your life matters, and you do have an impact. You do have a choice on your personal experience and the way you experience your life and do your inner work and the way you reach out to the communities and the people around you. So today the workshop has a threefold setup. I'll first start with some theoretical framework, which consists of a few parts that I will be labeling very briefly. Then there's a second part where we'll be going over some journaling practices, so some questions you can ask yourself, which will increase your choice. And thirdly, a short meditation that you can do daily. So I want to first start with reflecting a brief moment on ownership. What does ownership mean to you? Do you feel like you have ownership on your life? Do you feel like you are controlled by or you exert control? And do you feel like you are placing your control and your energy in the right places? Put into other words, are you directing your energy towards the things that are within your control or out of your control? And can you make the shift for yourself? Can you dare to make the shift to move towards the things that are within your control? When we direct our energy towards things that are out of control, it can have a form like grieving over the past, over things that are out of our control that we can't change, or fearing the future. Both scenarios are useless unless we use it as a way to understand better how we, within ourselves, can change the way we interrelate with the surroundings. So in the case of the past, we can look at the past and be like, what can I learn from this? How would I want to tackle this next time? How would I want to handle next time? And for the future, it could be something like, I'm going to be so present and connected within myself and embark on this learning journey in life so that whatever that comes and happens, that I'm able to respond in the most connected way, in a way that serves me most and serves the community and the people around me most. So this is question one, basically. What is within my control and what is not? Seeing your energy as your most precious instrument and tool will help you to be more cautious about it. Are you pouring your energy out, getting frustrated about how other people are and situations are? Or are you taking control, becoming the owner, not the victim, and see what is within your control and starting to align your energy with that? The second part is to understand how we can shift from automatically reacting when we are within control to consciously creating. Many of us, I believe you can relate, are in a constant state of stress. This has to do with our society as a whole and how we are all, there's so many things coming to us every day, so many things. So our system is just not used to that. We used to live way slower, and now we have so much technology, so much input. So that discernment on where we direct our energy is super important. Secondly, there's also this collective like trauma, I'm not sure like how to name it, but this like collective emotions and fears that we haven't processed, that we have inherited from our parents and from the way we were raised. So that our system is constantly going on, like going into a stress modus, not necessarily for something that is happening in the exact moment, but something it triggers. The answer is not necessarily trying to control that more, but starting to learn and see our triggers as ways to heal ourselves, to understand what we need and what we can do for ourselves in moments that we feel overwhelmed and many things are coming to us. In order to do this, we need to learn to align with long-term intention rather than short-term gratification. We need to shift from our animal survival brain into our higher brain or higher awareness or high heart awareness and our intentions for the long term. In order to do this, we use our breath. I'll get back to that. We'll do an exercise. But for now, I would name this as the discrepancy between our ego self and the constructs of society and what you have thought to be true versus the truth you want to live up by and the constructs you want to create. So shifting from automatically reacting and avoiding pain and trying to short-term gratification, attract pleasure, towards long-term creation, intention, and the way you want to live. Just to state it simply, this could be as simple as a habitual change. I want to eat healthier food and have a healthier lifestyle for in the long term to be more healthy and vibrant and enjoy my life the best way possible. But in the short term, that means saying no to the Coca-Cola, saying no to the things that I really like. So there needs to be a higher awareness in that moment that the urge emerges to take the Coca-Cola, you're triggered, there's something coming up and you want to use this as a coping mechanism. So that means you want to not understand what the pain, what the stress is about, and you want to suppress it by a short-term pleasure, like a reward. When you connect to long-term intention and integrate consciousness practices within your life, you will be able to see from this higher self, like, hey, but in the long term it's going to be better for me to shift and to have a healthier lifestyle. So where do I want to go? Okay, I want to be there. Okay, so it's going to be way more easy to say no to that Coca-Cola now in order to have a healthier choice like the water, because you know you're going to feel good and you want to feel good. And that's the intention, and that's the power of intention. You having this guideline, this direction, there is where I want to go, there is where I want to be. And that's super important because this is your inner alignment with your values and understanding that you can align your daily actions, words, and choices with that long-term value, with that long-term intention. So my values can be like, I want to live consciously. I am living consciously, I am living in connection to my environment, I am taking care of my body, I'm taking care of my mind. And then if other things come up on the short term that are not aligning with that, I can realign with where I want to be, not by pushing away what I don't want, but by inviting more of there where I want to go within the process. Okay, that was a lot of information, but what you need to take away from this is when you are in stress, you're in your automatic responses, you're just picking in onto all the urges you have. When you connect with the long-term intention, you'll be able to see a choice. So you'll be able to be like, okay, this is where I want to go in the long term. These are the values I live by. So this is not aligning. So you have like an inner compass and a direction. And of course, it's super important. And that brings me to the third part of our attitude within the process, is that we want to be compassionate, patient, and with trust within ourselves in the process, because you're not going to see progress immediately. It's going to take time and effort, but the trust that this work is going to pay off. And part 4 is then, okay, so how do we shift from automatic behavior into higher self? It's by releasing stress. It's by shifting into our metacognition and our ability to shape direction, and that happens with the breath. Our breath is seen in yogic practices not just as breath, as an interchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide. It's seen as one of the most crucial forces for life force energy. And this is our connection to the whole, our connection to all that lives, and our ability to be present with all that lives. There are multiple ways to breathe and to direct our intentions within the breath, but the most important is, in order to calm down, is to find your breath lower within the lungs and to focus on your exhales and to really feel the body grounding down here, so that you can see that whatever things show up, whatever pain show up, whatever emotion shows up, it's probably not belonging to this moment, but something, a need that you were neglecting in the past. So instead of fighting the people around you and projecting your things on the outer world, go check in with your inner world, breathe, and ask yourself what it is that you need. And from there you can start shaping and shifting from your inner compass from a higher self-awareness and a sense of constructing the life consciously from what you feel inside and what serves you, versus just reacting for the things that you have learned in the past, the things that you have thought to be true. So those are the 4 theoretical parts. So 1, what is within your control and what's not. 2, understanding that you can create a higher self-awareness from your heart, from self-love, to see your ego, to integrate your ego, and to build new and more helpful ways to interact and engage with reality. 3, constantly understanding that it's a process, so not striving for perfect, because perfect might never come, but you will evolve and you will expand. It's not going to be easy, and your ego will fight it, and your ego will want to stick to what it knows, but you can shift. And number 4, use your breath. Understand that your breath and the understanding of your breath is going to be life-changing. So take every day the time to breathe consciously. That was a theoretical part, bringing us to the journaling part, where you can write down a few questions and respond to those questions in order for you to develop that relationship with higher self. So from this workshop on, I would want to recommend you to do the breathing and / meditation that I'm going to do by the end daily, either with my guidance or just on your own, to understand the power of your own breath and your higher self-awareness, and then take time to connect with the journaling questions. The journaling questions are the following. Journaling is the practice of understanding the self more, your own fears, and reflecting on them so you can redirect, you can change your direction. In the beginning, you need to reflect afterwards, but as you become more and more self-aware, you will do it on field. So in a moment that you are stressed, to connect, to breathe, and to redirect. So the first part of the questions is understanding your triggers and fears. 1, understand your triggers and fear. What triggered me? So what disturbed your system into stress and fear? What triggered me? What did I need? Was this within my control? How would I want to respond? Question mark. These are some valuable questions that you can answer every day at the end of your day, to just reflect on what was happening and what you would want to happen, and give yourself the power from being a victim into becoming the active creator of your life. The second question is about intention. It's an exercise on intention. It's a few-fold question. So the second part is on intention. First one, dismantling. Second one, creating. So creating new habits and routines. What is your why? What are your most important values you want to live by? What are your priorities in life? So the question will be something like, how do I want to live? What is my intention? What do I want to create in my life? This could be something like, I am a present. You will first state it like, I want to be a present mom. I want to be a present dad. I want to contribute as much as I can. I want to do always my best. I want to be more compassionate toward myself. And this you are going to shift into the present tense as if it's already happening, so you can relate to the feeling that you will have. Because if you are creating stress scenarios and worst case scenarios, your body is feeling that, and you're aligning to that reality as if it's already happening. It's part of this moment because you're living it. The same way you can live that whatever you want to create. So you would state it with something like, I am a present mom. I am patient. And what you will do is you will, for these statements you make, and you can reevaluate them, but you can also just make it like a mantra, like a personal power message. And you will be something like, this is where I stand for, and this is what I'm going to create in the coming months and year. And then you can read it to yourself. And it might be weird to look yourself in the eye in the mirror and tell yourself this. But honestly, the relationship with yourself is the foundation for all of the relationships you have with others. If you don't even understand yourself and your own triggers and your own fears and your own desires, how are you able to understand somebody else? How can we judge somebody else when we don't even know ourselves? So instead of judging others, go inside of yourself and see who you are now and who you wish to be. Where are you working for? What are you doing? What are you creating? How are you optimizing your ego mind to embark in this journey in life? Not being triggered by everything, but dissolving those triggers and starting to pay attention to the things that make your life journey worthwhile. If this was your last day today or your last year, how would you want to live it? Would you be so stressed about the small things? Or would you start to pay attention to the small things that mean the most? Like a dinner with your family, your kids growing up, your students growing and expanding to be better people, that you know that you make a change and your presence matters, to start to acknowledge that. And that brings me to the last part, which is a brief breathwork and meditation for you to let it all sink in. So this was a lot of information. I'm sorry, not sorry, because I love to provide you with powerful tools and information. But you can replay this, rewatch this, pause it. Really, I know that every time you will listen to this, you will pick up new things. You will pick up exactly that is valuable for you in this moment. So you can replay, you can rewatch, and mostly you can let it all sink in and integrate it. Thank you so much already for sharing this time with me, giving you yourself and me the opportunity to create something beautiful. For now, take a comfortable seat. This can be on a chair or cross-legged. The most important is that you sit with a spine up straight, with an awareness from your tailbone to the crown of your head, your shoulders drawn back. Your palms can be facing down to ground more or opened up to receive, to connect either more with the spiritual side, with the openness, the intuition, or just with being here, present with this moment, with your body. Open your chest a little bit more so you can start to invite a more conscious and full breath. Explore how your breath is now. As you focus on the invitation of awareness in your body on an in-breath, and you connect the body to the earth, to the ground on an out-breath. Start to take in your space, and maybe your nervous system is still triggered by sounds or things that are happening around you. Try to focus merely on the deepening of your own breath, and with this, your nervous system calms, and you can just see whatever is happening around you, but you don't have any desire to change it. You can allow yourself, invite yourself to be here. Breathe into the body, expand the body. Breathe out to the ground, to the earth, land the body. Try to send the breath as deep as you can into the belly, but slowly and not in any forced way. And when you breathe out, all the air moves out, and it can be helpful to have some energy released by breathing out through the mouth, really, or sighing. Breathe in, expand the lungs slowly, in any unforced way. And breathe out, ground to the ground, land onto the ground. Just take a few more slow breaths, and now take a little pause between an in and an out breath, and an out and an in breath. In through the nose. A little pause, and out through the mouth. And notice that your attention may go to any sounds, even sounds from me. Notice and come back the boundaries on your body on an in-breath, and allowing relaxation in the body on an out-breath. Feel that your shoulders relax, your jaw, and that any tension, any sense of fighting reality dissolves. And there's a full allowance. You allow yourself to be here, to take in this space. You take a few last breaths, and this time you might feel the boundaries of the body expand beyond the shape of your body. So you breathe in and you breathe out. Don't worry at all if your mind was distracted. This is a practice, it takes time and effort, but trust the seeds you are planting, and trust that nobody can change your inner experience but you.